On today's episode, the Cyber Tunnel is complete. The Tesla Pi phone is real. You're not getting a new Model Y in 2024. 50 million batteries at Giga, Texas are built, and a new FSD is guaranteed to work perfectly all year round. The Boring Company has broken through at Giga, Texas. We've recently seen video of the Proof-Rock 3 machine resurfacing, or porpoising, inside the structure of a new extension at Tesla headquarters, thus completing what we now know as the Cyber Tunnel. The project began in early January when the Boring Company arrived on the Giga, Texas site. They were setting up camp in a lot across the Pickle Parkway from the main production plant. We know that the lot on the west side of the parkway is being used by Tesla as a staging ground for new vehicles that are being prepped for delivery. It also stores a bunch of shipping containers, which is often referred to as a warehouse on wheels. Anyway, it was pretty clear why the tunnel was being dug, making a direct connection between the factory floor and the staging area. It would save Tesla having to drive everything down the river road, under the parkway, and then back up to the factory. Slightly extravagant solution for sure, but if Elon already owns a tunnel digging operation, why not dig some tunnels? The Proof-Rock 3 boring machine was launched in very early April and started making its way down towards the factory. It emerged in very early June, so 2 months' time to excavate. I don't know what we would call that. Maybe that's a couple hundred meters or yards. I don't know what a yard is. Either way, it's not very far. Now, given the location where Proof-Rock emerged, though, which is literally inside a half-constructed building, I doubt that the speed of the digging was the limiting factor. It was probably more about making sure that the site on the surface was ready for a big tunneling machine to emerge from the ground. I'm sure this was a first for the contractors involved with building the new factory section. Speaking of which, you may ask yourself, why would the tunnel be emerging into this new extension building, which Elon has said will primarily house a new supercomputer cluster for FSD training? Well, the easy answer would be that the existing factory already has a floor, and Tesla didn't want a boring machine to dig through it. Going to the overhead views here from Joe Tegmeyer, we can see that the tunnel exit is just outside of the original factory wall, outside of the existing general assembly area for the Cybertruck. And we can see that they're building a new wall on the outside of the tunnel opening, so that general assembly space is just going to expand a few feet to the south, and the Cyber Tunnel will be right at the new endpoint. While we're up here, we can see that the second floor of the factory extension is already being prepped as the new site of that Tesla data center. The big black pipes are indicative of a water cooling system for the thousands and thousands of NVIDIA H100 GPUs that will be arriving here once the construction is complete. As for what the Boring Company is going to do with that Proof-Rock machine now that it's inside a building, the general consensus seems to be that they're just going to pull it forward, turn it around, and then start digging back the other way to make a second tunnel. And hopefully this is just the first of many innovative tunneling projects that will happen at Giga, Texas. This has the potential to become a new proving ground for Boring Company technology, and it would really help to kickstart their progress towards some of the very lofty goals that they've set for tunneling speed and efficiency. Apple has just announced that they are officially hitching their wagon to OpenAI for a new artificial intelligence-powered mobile operating system, and Elon Musk is pissed. OpenAI is pretty sketchy at best. They've got some bizarre internal politics going on, a very inconsistent approach to safety practices, and for some baffling reason, they thought that it would be cool to just steal Scarlett Johansson's voice, even after she specifically told them not to do that. And overall, we're currently in the midst of a cluster F of AI intrusion into our private lives. Microsoft wants to screenshot your computer. Adobe wants to look at your pictures. Google is probably doing some unfathomably evil stuff with your online activity. I don't even want to know. Anyway, all of this madness has brought one long-suffering meme back to the surface. Elon Musk should build his own smartphone. If you've been on YouTube for a few years, you've seen the Tesla Pi phone. The videos are everywhere. I loathe them. They are the bane of my existence. Millions of views on a product that is fully and completely make-believe, until it's not. So of course the calls have come out for Elon Musk to make his own phone with his own AI so that he can be the one spying on everyone. Anyway, someone suggested a Grok phone with Grok integrated, and Elon wrote, quote, "If Apple actually integrates woke nanny AI spyware into their OS, we might need to do that." And another post on X said that X should partner with Samsung and make the X phone, which would of course be integrated seamlessly with all of the other Elon-verse products, and Elon replied to that, "It is not out of the question." Elon also said during a live speaking event about 6 months ago, this was the one where he told everyone to go F themselves, he also said, "If there is an essential need to make a phone, I'll make a phone." Either way, for the seemingly millions of people who are eagerly awaiting the arrival of a Musk-approved smartphone, you are closer than ever. Just to follow up here on some previously reported material, Elon Musk has driven a nail in the coffin of a Model Y Juniper release happening anytime soon. When asked about the rumors on X, Elon wrote, quote, "No Model Y refresh is coming out this year. I should note that Tesla continuously improves its cars, so even a car that is 6 months newer will be a little better. So that's not exactly helpful. Buy a new car now, you might get a surprise upgrade, you might miss it by a week. Spin the wheel." But more than anything, maybe just a reminder that if you are trying to time a major purchasing decision based on a rumor that you heard on YouTube, stop. Don't do that. Do not take anything we say seriously. We're just culling the internet and regurgitating it right back at you. This is only one step above AI. I've said too much. Tesla has recently announced the production of 50 million 4680 battery cells at Giga, Texas. And that post came along with this really nice collage of all the wonderful human beings responsible for that work. So very nice, everyone. Probably not by coincidence, this post comes almost exactly 1 year after Tesla announced their 10 millionth battery cell made at Giga, Texas. So 40 million cells in 1 year. And if you average that out, it's just under 1 million cells per week. But we know that production ramps aren't linear. This would be at some point on an S curve. So there's no way to know where we are located on that line right now. In theory, there should be a lot more room to grow. Tesla would be at something like 7 gigawatt hours of capacity right now. Their original battery day goals were 10 gigawatt hours in 2021 and 100 gigawatt hours in 2022. Not that we're necessarily trying to hold them to that prediction, but if we compare the existing numbers to some potential endgame totals, there would be at least an order of magnitude more headroom for battery production in the future. For the moment, at least, all that the 4680 line really needs to do is keep pace with Cybertruck production. 40 million cells per year would be enough to make around 30,000 Cybertrucks. So at the current run rate of cells, they're almost certainly hitting 50,000 trucks per year worth of battery volume. So what comes next? Could it be that the real reason Tesla is holding off so long on a Model Y refresh is that they are actually planning to release the structural pack, dual casting, 4680 Model Y with 30% increased range that we were all promised so very long ago? Or is that just another unfounded YouTube rumor? Tesla has a new iteration of their FSD supervised software version 12.4.1 that is currently rolling out to employees and their short list of favorite customers. This update is promised to come with a, quote, massive number of changes, so much so that it could potentially be called V13, but it's not. And it's also worth noting that Elon just said changes and not improvements, so who knows what's coming? Well, Elon, probably. Musk already has gone ahead and made one of his patented bold predictions for the next few iterations of FSD. There are 2 future versions that are currently in early testing stages, 12.5 and 12.6, which could supposedly be called V14 and V15, but they're not. And Elon writes, quote, "We are starting to get to the point where, once known bugs are fixed, it will take over a year of driving to get even one intervention." So, bold claim for sure, but he's actually being more down to earth than usual here. Note, we are starting to get to the point. They are not at the point. And once known bugs are fixed, they know that stuff is broken, and they know that they don't know how to fix it right now. And he didn't even try to attach a timeline to this one, so overall, this is quite level-headed. And one intervention every couple of years, I guess, would definitely sound like a level of capability that would be perfectly fine for robotaxi implementation. Most users would never actually see a problem at that rate, and even the heavy users might have an incident once every few years or so. That's about the best that we can really hope for now. Let's see how long it takes to arrive.